I've observed that the most magnetic people in the room are the ones who have an energetic hygiene routine. They know when energy doesn't feel good, and they know how to protect their own and how to recharge it. Their intuition is just as sharp as most people's mums who know when their child's friends are not good for them. Welcome back to the House of Yoga podcast presented by Yama Yoga. My name is Gavi Kanani. I am your host and founder. In today's episode, I'm going to be teaching you how to protect your energy, how to cleanse it, and how to figure out what's draining it in the first place. You'll finish this episode understanding that looking after your energy is just as important as brushing your teeth, if not more. Now, before we begin with the episode, I want to start, as we do with every House of Yoga podcast episode, by checking in with yourself. And today we're going to check in with your energy. So if you're able to do so, come to a comfortable seated position, close your eyes, roll your shoulders back, and relax. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out through the mouth. Bring both hands onto your heart. And just check in with yourself. How are you feeling right now? How's your day going so far? How are you feeling physically in your body? Is there any areas that feel light or heavy? How are you feeling mentally and emotionally in this moment? And how are you feeling energetically? Do you feel energized, drained, relaxed, content? Just see what comes up when you check in with yourself super honestly. And then let's just take a deep breath into your whole body. And a deep breath out. Let's just visualize a white or a golden light washing over your body, protecting you, and staying with you this entire episode. When you feel ready, let's take one more deep breath in, but bring your hands together to Namaste. Inhale and exhale. Let's open your eyes. Thank you for joining me with that meditation. So as you might have guessed, I'm a yoga teacher. Being trauma-informed means a lot of my clients are sharing with me difficult situations. And being a yoga teacher means that we work with energy. Being a good yoga teacher means having a sharp sense of intuition. You can read the room, empathize, make your client feel seen, and adapt the class accordingly to what they need. What this means, all in all, is that I've had to learn how to read energy, help others cleanse it and change it within themselves when they need, and continuously replenish and protect my own energy a little bit more so that I have more to give to my clients. I therefore have a lot to share with you today on how you can do the same. So let's start figuring out what's draining you in the first place. So being energetically drained is obviously the opposite of being energized. Your body may feel fatigued, your spirit doesn't seem as upbeat as normal, you just generally feel off. I want to ask you, what has drained you this week? Was it a conversation with someone? Is it an event that you went to? A commute that felt so exhausting? A place that just didn't feel right? Did you sleep really badly? What has thrown off your energy this week? I need you to figure out where you lose your energy so then we can protect it. So if we're speaking about people, it can be hard to know if a person is draining you. I don't always know. And sometimes I give people the benefit of the doubt because sometimes people are having a bad day or they're in a rough patch. But if, in general, every time you leave an interaction with this person, you're feeling unsure, tired, unsupported, judged, and in general, once again, you just feel off because you weren't able to be yourself fully, this may be a sign that this person is draining you. And it's nothing to do with them. We don't need to blame them, but it's just important to be aware. I want you to ask yourself, therefore, why? Is this person triggering something in you, or do they genuinely not feel like the kind of interaction that is adding to your cup right now? Of course, some interactions are draining and unavoidable, like family or work relationships. And I'll help you on how to protect and cleanse your energy later. But if these interactions are by choice, try to spend some time figuring out which interactions feel genuine and which ones you want to take a step back on or put in place a boundary. So now let's talk about boundaries. If you remember the episode I had done with Rohit, we spoke about boundaries and how sometimes having boundaries and saying no can trigger and offend people because they're maybe not used to hearing no. But once again, I'm here to remind you that boundaries are not a bad thing. Saying no to something you don't want to really do is not a bad thing. Putting your foot down with people who consistently try to get you to change your mind and make you do something you don't want to is not a bad thing. To be firm with them and say no or find a limit that works for you. You have to protect your energy. No one's going to do that for you. Even a bodyguard cannot protect your energy. You need enough dignity of your own. Otherwise, no one else is going to respect you. They'll just use you because they know that you do anything and everything to please others. So it's time to start putting yourself first. So I want you to ask yourself now, how are you allowing your boundaries to be pushed? And who's pushing them the most? These questions are really going to start helping you to understand what and who is draining your energy. I also want to ask you, if you said no and put a boundary in place to protect your energy, what is the worst thing that can happen from the other person? Sometimes these boundaries mean that we don't feel aligned to do life with someone anymore. This is also known as cutting someone out. However, karmic ties are a thing. We need to ensure that we're not cutting someone out when we cut them off, even if they've hurt us. I've personally let a fair few of my friendships go as I've changed or situations I've been hurt by, but it's really important to me to let them go with kindness and love, even if it's painful. This is a big decision to do, so if you're considering doing the same, please take some time to think through it thoroughly. That being said, remember, gut feeling is a thing. If it continuously keeps feeling off, lean into trusting your judgment. Other people may have different opinions or experiences, but only you know deep down what interactions feel right for you. So when letting someone go, pray for them and wish them the best, but be okay with letting it go, because otherwise it just drains your energy and that affects other parts of your life, like other relationships or your work. Sometimes it's not as simple as letting a person go out of your life. Sometimes we also just might feel drained from work or from unavoidable situations. So now I want to teach you how you can cleanse your energy and reinvigorate it again. Before I share what helps me and my yoga clients, I want to ask you, what and who gives you energy? Is it a particular movement, food, song? Who is it that gives you the most energy? For me, this is where techniques from yoga and my spiritual practice enters. Whenever I'm in a situation where I feel overwhelmed or there's too much going on around me, which I often do in Mumbai, where there's just so many people, I start chanting in my head. So I come from a Hindu family and my mum raised me with chanting the Gayatri mantra, but lately I've also been chanting Om Namah Shivaya. And sometimes it just gets too much, maybe in Mumbai, but also in airplanes when I feel scared with the turbulence. And I even have one situation when I was taking the local train here in Mumbai and it was so jam-packed. I was surrounded by men, it was rush hour and it was super, super hot. And instead of letting myself get overwhelmed like I normally might, I closed my eyes and I started visualizing a white light around me. I did that for the whole train ride and I left that carriage feeling absolutely fine. If I do feel like I've picked energy up, I'll come home and burn something like incense, agarbatti, sage or Palo Santo and I cleanse my energy. I may also take a shower with salt, which is a technique that my cousin taught me to get rid of any heavy energy. You can also try dancing, shaking it off, jumping up and down. And if you feel like someone's passed on their belief, worry, or whatever to you, you can mentally repeat, this is not mine to believe, I'm handing it back to them. And I wish them the best. There are so many other techniques, and I have written a guide for you, which you can download below in the description to integrate and learn how to do these techniques to cleanse your energy. But one final thing that I want to say is that women, especially, you need to learn how to protect your energy even more because you're also going through a monthly cycle. I'll be having a hormonal healthcare coach soon on the podcast, but for now, this is a reminder that there are anyways going to be times of the month where your energy is less physically. So you must learn how to protect it and give it out less or more accordingly to where you are at in your cycle. For example, when you're menstruating, your energy is less, you're socially drained. How can you protect it? How can you say no more? Overall, what I want you to take away from this episode is that your energy is your superpower. It's the thing that allows you to spend money, to use your time. It's arguably the most important currency. So after this episode, I invite you to think about who gives you energy. What activities give you energy? What kind of places feel good and what do not? Make a list. And if you want inspiration, like I said, my guide is right here down below for you to download and be inspired from. No one, not even a security guard, can protect your energy for you. So we've come to an end of today's episode and I want you to share with me, how do you protect your energy? Why don't you leave a comment down below? Otherwise, thank you so much for being here and tuning in to the House of Yoga podcast. It really means a lot to me that you're listening. And if you're not subscribed already, I hope you will, because every Thursday we have a podcast episode, which I'm trying to give you as an energy reset. And I'm really, really happy to be doing this. And huge thanks to Yama Yoga, who are helping me run this episode. I'll see you next week. Thank you.